Apologies.
Oh, you're fine.
Alright, hello everyone. Today we're to talk about Dokkan Battle, and we have some categories that need new leaders, and we're going to be starting with Goku Black. But before we start, I do have a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely, thank you, Reese. I'm Willie Westside, or you can just call me West. I run a YouTube channel, and I do a ton of Dokkan Battle content over there, probably too much. But I'm very excited to get started today. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. So, as I said, we are starting with Goku Black. So, would you like to give us your thoughts on him?
Okay, so I hate this unit. I think he was, I think I said earlier to you, I think he was underrated when he first came out, but he has by far become one of the most overrated units. His super attack animations are probably the best thing about him.
I would agree with that.
His transformation is very ugly, in my opinion. It just moves from like one JPEG to another, which I don't think looks great. And the only events that I think he's really viable for are long events, but he kind of holds himself back in long-term events. When he transforms, he hits too hard to build himself up despite having no domestic defense. And it just really hurts him, I think, overall as a unit. It's just poor design.
Oh no, absolutely. I have to agree. And he stacks so slowly. Like, even though it's greatly raising defense, which is a 50% increase, he still just doesn't have any defense in his passive. So, I'm not sure what the exact numbers are for how much he goes up per turn, but I believe it's pretty low.
I will say, I've looked at it before, and it is remarkably small. I mean, his base defensive stat, I have mine at 79%. So I think his base defensive stat is 4,590. And then I think he can go up to what? N-type units get 5,000 across the board. So that's like 9,000. That's really low.
Yeah.
And then to not have any domestic defense in his passive just renders him, I don't know, crippleable?
Yeah, like, if you bring him into one of the harder Infinite History events, he just gets instantly crushed. Like,
and then you can't run him in like Battlefield or in Super Battle Road because he has no defense starting out.
Yeah, so he's kind of just pretty useless nearly everywhere, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is with Dokkan, but they love giving Rosés just really bad defense, except for the new AGL Easy 8 one.
Yeah. And even he's got some issues, having to build himself up slowly.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Great in longer events, in short-term events, he can really be exposed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, they did the same with LR Rosé, because LR Rosé is an offensive monster, but
God, yes.
His defense is, you could say, lackluster.
Yeah. I think the best thing about Goku Black is probably his leader skill, but it has almost an entire overlap with Future Saga, that unless you really want to run Dragon Ball Heroes units, you just don't need it.
Yeah. Like, I was looking at the Time Travelers category, and I'm going to pull it up now. I think this category has loads of room for growth, especially, as you mentioned there, Dragon Ball Heroes is going to make this category, like, one of the best, I think.
Oh yeah, Dragon Ball Heroes, especially if we start getting, like, Dokkan Fest units, LRs, things of that ilk, it's definitely going to like exponentially grow in quality.
Yeah, like I'm looking at it now. Like, we have Bardock, who's really good, who you don't get on Future. You have people like Bojack. We have Majin Buu. We have Cell. Like they're.
I'm like still baffled that Majin Buu is on Time Travelers. I know there's something to do with like the original translation, like the direct translation from kanji, but it's still just weird to me that he's on there.
Yeah. Like, and of course Demon King Piccolo as well, for the same reasons.
Yeah.
And Bojack.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Like, the category can be really good right now, but just isn't. And Time Travelers has, to be honest, two bad leaders, in Goku Black and the LR Trunks and Mai.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about them. They are terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're just... It's not good. Like, they need a new leader. And I think they're probably going
Yeah.
to get one when Dragon Ball Heroes comes out. Like, I feel like their first Dokkan Fest exclusive, or LR, would probably just be Time Travelers and Dragon Ball Saga, or Dragon Ball Heroes, excuse me. Or something along those lines.
I think that's a good point. It would be kind of sad, because if I'm not mistaken, which I could be, Dragon Ball Heroes has a complete overlap with Time Travelers. It might not. I think, like, Super Saiyan 3 Gohan doesn't overlap. But I think it's like 2 units that aren't in both categories.
Oh,
so,
really?
But I do
Okay.
think it's highly likely.
Okay, that is interesting. So I guess we'll see what goes down.
Yeah.
Do we have any more thoughts on Goku Black or Time Travelers?
I love Time Travelers. I think access to the Vegito Blue units makes it's going to age gracefully. But
Absolutely.
I think the fact it relies so heavily on the Goku Black arc is going to hinder it until we actually see some, like, really strong support for Dragon Ball Heroes and Dokkan.
Yeah. I also think it's quite likely there's a chance that maybe LR Merge Zamasu leads Time Travelers going forward.
I can see that.
Like, I don't know when we'll get LR Merge Zamasu, but I think it's a possibility that he could lead Time
I think
Travelers.
so too. Yeah. And now the wild card comes in. Hey, what's going on?
Hello?
What is up, my fellow fellows?
Hey, what's going on, Avy?
It's going good. It's going good. Also, I forgot to say, it's Avi.
Avi. I'm so
I-
sorry.
Avi, my apologies.
Cool. It was honestly a good bit. I was like, you know what, I could live with this for a while. Well, yeah, I was thinking about, categories, and I had a great idea for a new Resurrect Warriors leader, and then we got Majin Vegeta.
Oh, he's on this list.
Ironically enough, that I have an entire what's it called? Entire card written out, and it was a what is it? Let me see. It's a Super Saiyan 2 Goku as Resurrect Warriors lead. I also made a new category called Galactic Heroes, but basically it was turn 1 transformed to Super Saiyan 3, and then he has like dummy good stats, but every turn he loses his attack and defense. And then you switch to Vegeta, who's super, super defensive, and then when you get, and then depending on how long you wait to use the second active skill, which is the Spirit Bomb, it has like a bunch of cool effects on it. Like, I've noticed Bandai hasn't, or Akatsuki hasn't, like, they're only now dipping their toes in the insane bullshit they can do with active skills.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's really cool because one thing I was worried about with exchanging was that like they couldn't like make exchange Dokkan Fests because Akatsuki's huge sticklers about like keeping the character's name the same when they awaken if it's like a Dokkan Fest. But now that they did like exchange Boo, like Pandora's box has been opened. Let's go nuts.
Yeah, like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can make like a new. They can make a Super Boo that's good.
That would be a godsend.
Imagine
Honestly,
just
that's-
any good boo would be incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
we have the exchange
only
one.
good option we have right now, it's like a Dokkan Fest, is that new tech transforming one.
Yeah.
And yeah, and for Majins themselves, you're not going to get anything better than Majin Power 4K 170. That's like the thing is that like the thing about Special Pose and Majin Power that I kind of like is that they've done nothing. They've done nothing with these categories so far, so they can give us some stupid things. Like, I was thinking, like, okay, LR, or the Dual Dokkan Fest, Ultimate Gohan, and, I don't know, Boo Tanks that can become Buuhan. Like, as a spitball. And then as a banner unit, Super Saiyan 3 Go Tanks, or not base Go Tanks. Either Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 3 Go Tanks. Have them be friggin' Special Pose, 100% attack. If
Yeah.
we're gonna run special pose, they need to give some stupid options.
Yeah, because there's really no reason to run it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I feel like right now the biggest problem we're going to have, and Resurrected Warriors is like a good example to the contrary, but right now when new categories get released, there's no post-launch support, which is a huge issue. With something like Modded Power, with something like Special Pose, it's been a really big issue. So while we've got really good leaders, Revenge is another great example. We've got really great leaders. We've got, sometimes a decent roster, sometimes not at all. But they won't follow up and continue to support that as time goes on.
Like, I don't see why Akatsuki, like, this is one thing that I will stick with truth on, is that they released Kale and Caulifla at that point in Dokkan's life. If they released Kale and Caulifla, like, after the Blue Fusions, then sure, whatever. But they released Kale and Caulifla last year, and it was either you had them or you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just such a stupidly good unit. They were like them and like maybe Gohan and Goten were in a tier of their own, because Gohan and Goten kind of struggled to super for me. They were just...
Yeah, unless you have a support with them, I do find that they struggle early on.
Yeah, 100%. I do love that unit, and compared to Kale and Caulifla, I have them in relative competition, but it was like Kale and Caulifla introduced a new tier of units, and were also the greatest component of that tier, and Gohan and Goten stepped into that tier, but were definitely a step behind.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, and then we got the Blue Fusions, and now balance shouldn't even be an issue.
Exactly.
Concern.
Like,
So speaking of... Sorry.
They gave us Last Resort. Last Resort is a category in this game, and then we got Rapid Growth.
Mm.
Oh, can we not talk about... Oh, Rapid Growth is...
Rapid Growth is so bad.
What do you mean? It's the best category.
That category... Like, I was talking with some friends who don't play Dokkan, and I was like, I explained to them what the category system is. I was like, okay, so there's this category called Rapid Growth. Who do you think's not on it? And they're like, uh-oh. I don't see Goku Black anywhere.
It's so bad. There were so many strange omissions. Speaking of strange omissions, Shadow Dragon Saga. The weird exclusion of STDR Super Saiyan 4 Goku when it first came out was such a weird design choice, especially for being like the first category. And I feel like now it still both needs a new lead and needs more support, because I think the newest units that got released for it were the Super Saiyan 4s, and they are the sole, like, exception.
Man, I can't wait to run Strength Omega on Shadow Dragons.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Like, I'm looking at Shadow Dragons now, and it's so sad.
It's so like, I can't wait to get an arc, because the thing is that they're never going to make a GT category. They cannot do that. Because
it would eclipse one, yeah.
Yeah, that would completely eclipse Shadow Dragon. It's why I will say they will never make a Super Saiyan God category, because we have Realm of Gods.
Yeah.
Even if you made it like 4 key 200, it wouldn't. No one would run that. Actually,
yeah.
No one would run that. Never mind. Hold on, I just remembered. It's Super Saiyan God. Everyone loves that.
The issue there is going to be just availability. Until they bring in heroes, I mean, even when they bring in heroes, you could maybe make a full team. You'd have LR Gonku, the transforming options, God Vegeta,
Black,
Super Saiyan God Trunks, and does Black technically go Super Saiyan God?
Well,
he goes Super Saiyan, right?
Rose is his own. Rose is his version of Blue, I guess.
So even then it wouldn't count, unless we're counting Super Saiyan Blue in the Super Saiyan God category.
Well, that would just be a very good category then.
Yeah.
Because I like to think of it like Super Saiyan Blue is just Super Saiyan God 2, because that's kind of how they frame it. Sort of. A little bit.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that.
Enough.
Yeah. God, remember when Blue was like
Such a weird. It was like weirdly utilized. It was really neat in